Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blood and Popcorn Behind the Screams. I am TJ Rotel, and tonight we have something very special. We have for you a little sneak peek, a little behind the curtain, a little behind the screams, if you will, of the movie we all made. Everyone you see here in front of you, Watch Till the End, which came out Friday the 13th last week. Really excited. We got everybody together here. This is it. This is the whole unit we're looking at. That put that thing together. So happy to have everybody here. Thank you all for being here. And yeah, we're going to jump right in. Why doesn't everybody introduce themselves? Denise, we'll start with you and we'll go around the room.
Oh, hi. My name is Denise Pantoja, and I was producer on this sweet little film here.
I guess I'll go. I'm Glenn, producer and the director on this as well.
I'm Brad. I was Reaper and did some fun blood.
I'm Garrett, was DP and an editor.
Yeah, I'm Ben. I was Swing and did the VFX.
I'm Jules. I did the audio, the audio that I can't talk, and the composed.
Yeah, I can't follow that. I'm Sean.
Yeah, how do you beat that?
I was the creative consultant. Wait, Julian, are you okay?
Maybe we'll find
But
out.
more about me. Let me. I saw you kneel over and was like, "Oh my God, are we having a situation here?"
Yeah,
I'm glad
Jules.
you're
At least
okay,
you didn't
and I'm
have to
glad,
do.
to be here.
At least you didn't. At least you didn't, Jules. At least you didn't have to do a whole episode like that. Our first episode back, we did like our big announcements, and the whole time I coughed. The whole episode I coughed. It was absolutely brutal. But yeah, thanks for introducing yourselves, everyone. Let's kick things off by we'll show the trailer real quick, just so if you haven't seen the movie, you can kind of get a look at what we're going to be doing here tonight. And yeah, here we go. Enjoy the trailer. And that's the trailer, cut by Garrett, directed by Glenn, and music by Envato for that one, because Jules did enough for me, and I don't want to ask him for trailer music. But that was a lot of fun. So yeah, so this is like a little 3.5 minute movie. I wrote this on the drive out to California in one of the many trips out here that we came out to do that failed. And here we are again.
Now.
But Denise, why don't you tell us a bit about like how this all came to be? Like what was those first couple days getting in on this?
Well, even before the first couple of days, you and I have been discussing this this great group of friends that we have together. Very talented people all in the industry, and we've been wanting to get together and pool all of our resources and start to make stuff. This was 2 years ago. This was 2022, and as you said, one of our moves. Since the pandemic, I mean, we had moved a couple times before then, but since the pandemic, we've been a little back and forth. And on this trip, we really wanted to put forth the effort to start to create our own stuff with our friends. We've worked so long where we've made things better for other people's benefit. So this was one of those first steps forward into continuing to do that, but for us. And we got these wonderful people together who so graciously gave us their time. Everybody worked on it for free. The only money spent was a little money on crafty. We bought a little makeup, a little blood, and a few set pieces, and put it all together in like a day and a half. Like the main shoot was one day. The day right before that was a little bit of the pickup stuff, the videos that you'll see that this character is watching. We'll get into the other specifics a little later. The funny little thing about it, but it was born of this desire to create with our friends. And I want you to tell us real quickly about your idea and where it came from, because you wrote it.
Sure. Yeah. So I was in Pennsylvania and I was like wanting to write more. So I challenged myself to write 7 short films in 7 days. That was my goal. I didn't have like a page count in mind, but I was like, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to write 7 short films in 7 days. I wrote more, which was very fun. Shout out the Moon Tower and Archibald, where I did a lot of that writing. But this one in particular, when we were going through all those shorts and trying to decide what we could shoot, you know, with what we had, this one came to be. Like we were in a studio apartment. We didn't have a lot of stuff. We didn't, you know, we weren't even sure at that point who all was going to come out and play. So this script was self-contained enough to feel attainable in what would be a day, because it's really hard to ask people to give you more time than that. Poor Garrett and, you know, the Jules and Glenn and those who went into the post process with us. They did far more than a day. We owe them a lot, but yeah, the actual shoot day, it was a long day. It was super long, like 16 plus hour day, with a pre-shoot day for the phone stuff, and then another half a day for inserts. But yeah, that's where this whole thing came from. And the idea itself was born out of society's current desire to constantly be on their phone, and be looking, you know, at social media videos and stuff. And I mean, I'm guilty of it myself, but I was like, oh, I wonder what would happen if, like, you know, there was a ghost in the machine, like, who stalked someone who was a bit who wasn't paying attention enough to life and was a little more obsessed with the phone. And speaking of being obsessed with the phone, Glenn, I know you're a huge phone guy. No, I'm kidding. But Glenn, you directed this. This was something we really wanted to have you do, you know, because you've been with us for a long time as a producer. But I know we you know, Denise and I know that directing is really where your passion is wanting to go. So we wanted to have you step into that chair and do this. What was the experience like for you in the director's chair?
Yeah, it was really great. I hadn't directed anything since college. So 6 months before this, I guess. Thanks for laughing
You're
at that.
so young, Glenn. I love it.
Yeah, no, it was great to whatever flex the creative muscle, as the kids say. After years of not being able to, and helping other people make things that suck. To be honest.
Hey.
Go.
That is what the kids are saying.
It is. No, it was really great to be able to take a story that I actually liked and try to give my own spin on it as much as I could without breaking the world or being pretentious, like my school taught me to be.
Film school.
Huzzah!
You're not allowed to do anything.
It's true. It would have been better if it would have been experimental. Yeah, it was really good to make things with people that I really enjoy being around, which is literally everyone on this Twitch stream. And it was nice to have a collaborative environment to do what we wanted without really any constraints outside of money.
That's always a good one when you're making, you know, indie films. Money's a big constraint.
It is, but it can also like breed more and better creative as well.
100%.
There are shots in here that I hadn't planned for that I think work really well because of constraints. But we can talk about that more later. I'd rather hear from everyone else because I'm tired of talking.
Yeah. Well, speaking of restraints, Brad, I want to kick this next question to you, because how you kind of entered the fray was we did not know who our killer was going to be. Like, we didn't know what the monster was. Like, I wrote this with this idea of, like, I guess we'll figure it out. We have a really talented friend, Brandy Morris, who made our Reaper mask. You can check her stuff out at brandybeast.com. She's a super talented artist. And I was like looking through her site being like, what can I what can I use on this site that I can get like overnighted to me to be ready, and then who's gonna wear it? Because originally we were like, well, maybe we'll just use like one of those like a ski mask or something, like maybe it'll just be a straight up slasher movie. And I saw this skull mask and I fell in love with it, and I was like, well, who's gonna wear it? And we are like, well, Brad's gonna be there. Maybe Brad could do it. And like the character came into shape almost the day before.
I love the backstory. I don't know if it applies.
Oh yeah, well we'll get into the backstory a bit, but I wanna talk to you, Brad, more about what it was like, because you've done some kind of things like this in the past, and you know, you just have such a great frame for this character. What was your experience playing Reaper in this little short?
Well, yeah, frames, bony. Now because I've made the masks like that before, and she does great work. The thing fit like it was molded to my face, so I will definitely bump her work 100%. It was just fun, because usually I am behind camera. I'm art department or other. It was fun to be in front of it for once. And I think when we met, I think it was the first 5 minutes, like, you like horror? Yeah. Okay, we're best friends. Like, I think I was, and D as well, and Glenn and everybody else. So it was fun to be able to like step into that like world of being in front of the camera. Because normally I'm Ricky Bobby when you put me in front of a camera, but having the mask helped a lot. I had a great time doing it. Like, it was fun, like bringing back like the bare bones of why you like horror. You know, just having fun with friends and doing some fun stuff.
That's fun. Yeah, that's kind of why we're doing this and why we're trying to do it, and why we're so sad to leave all of you here in LA and go and try to do this in Ohio. But
the world's smaller now. It doesn't matter anymore.
much smaller now. Garrett, I'm a huge fan of how this movie looks, man. And I think you had a big hand in that. As kind of between you and Ben, like Ben like helping out with like everyone did 20 things in this. Like we couldn't put all the titles of what everyone did here, because it was just too much. Everyone was helping out. Brad did like our on-set audio, and like
first
Garrett
time I've done that.
Yeah, like I was like setting up a C stand with the boom pole on it, and like handing the rig off to Brad to be like, okay, I'm gonna go talk. Here's the dial. Make sure I'm not peeking. You know, and then we would go into it. But Garrett, you shot this thing, and between you, Ben, and Glenn, lit it, and I think it has a really beautiful visual style. What like you kind of got thrown into this too, so you were like, what was that? What was your experience with such a like bare bones crew? Because you do a lot of this stuff with Ben. You guys have an awesome company that you're doing a lot of great stuff together as well. What was it like coming in and DPing this for us?
Well, it was great because before that I had been doing a lot of like porn screen stuff and everything, which was just little horror shorts with a small crew as well. So it was nice getting a few more hands and being able to focus on, even though we were doing multiple roles, like wasn't in charge of everything. So it was so nice to be able to work with Glenn and Ben and you guys, and just set up what we're looking for. And you had great gear to work with too, which was fun. Love the Dana Dollies, love the black magic. So like, it just was fun to play in that place, and we knew what shots we needed to get. We knew we had a day, and we were going to make it happen no matter what. And the LED lighting and stuff, which I didn't get to play with too much before, and some like those puck lights and everything were awesome, and really helped seal the ending deal with just what we were going for and stuff. And then did some color correction here and there and post and whatnot. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I noticed my camera keeps glitching, so I'm not sure if that's anyone else is seeing that, or if it's just on my end.
No,
I'm a little concerned about
seeing
what's going to happen.
And part
your
of
ghost
me is
in the
like,
phone.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, is
The
it
Reaper there?
I am a little worried. I'm not. If you start seeing anything behind me, just give me a heads up, because
King?
I don't know why it's doing it. It's very similar to what's in the short. So
Oh god, there's a T-Rex right behind you, Garrett.
I was just gonna say.
Part of me,
This is kind of
Garrett was
elaborate
like, I
dinner
wonder
theater.
if Garrett's
Watch
doing this
till
on
the
purpose.
end.
Like, I wonder if he's added some sort of overlay that he keeps
no,
glitching.
I was actually thinking, I was like, maybe TJ's like doing that and added it to mine, because and I feel bad. Mine's in the center screen. I feel like it's eating up the. I'm sorry. You can move me if you want. I don't know what's going on.
It's okay, buddy. We want you right in the middle
it's-
where you belong.
It's on brand.
I won't kill you, I swear.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're safe.
Yeah, Brad's only in mine. But and then Glenn, I had his storyboards and what shots he wanted in mind and stuff. So then it was just about executing those shots and collaborating where we were trying to like figure out best practices to get the look and visuals we were going for. And especially the end stuff I'm really happy with too, where we had to get a little more creative with the shots and everything. And then your pickup shots you guys did, people couldn't even tell. Like no one would be able to tell which ones. I won't even say. It's a secret.
I
Could be
was
any of them.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Could be the whole thing. Could be nothing.
Yeah, 'cause we actually shot 30 seconds of the movie and then shot the other 3 minutes on a pickup day.
Past
Speaking
5
of
years.
glitching
That was just the
glitching
credits,
cameras,
right? You guys did the credits first, then worked backwards.
Yeah. Because you want to know who's doing what, and then you can figure out the story.
Smart. I like that. That's what studios listen up.
Yeah.
that's how to do it. Ben, speaking of glitching screens, you were making that shit on the fly on the day because we were like, we don't have the manpower to comp in fucking 30 phone shots into this movie. So Ben was literally on this computer on the fly while we were setting up shots, building visual assets and exporting video so we can play it live on the phone screen. Ben, what did you use to get that done? What was it like making assets on the fly for use 30 minutes later?
Yeah, so I think Garrett, we used Universe. Is that the
Yeah. Maxon, Red.
Yeah,
Giant,
Max and
whatever it's called these days.
shout out to
Yeah. Update
not
your
my,
driver.
not my sponsors.
Yeah.
And just
Not
happy
yet.
to have it from not yet, from like previous project. But yeah, the other joy of indie filmmaking is like problem solving on the day of, like in the moment, which is really cool and always a lot of fun. Very exciting, sometimes nail biting, but I feel like like was previously mentioned, sometimes it forces you to think of creative solutions to things. So always a good time.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment.
Brad had a really good solve. I forget what it was, but I remember him just being like, why don't we just blank? And I'm like, of course, like that's the most obvious. Like, well, how did we miss that? Like,
I think it was a knife cut, or it was like, right? Like,
yeah,
it was
if you remember, I just remember thinking like, duh, like that makes so much sense. I was like, I'm so glad like that. You get
It's
so
a
in your head and you're
practical
like, how
thing.
do we do this? And he's like, oh, just do this, stupid. And you're like, oh yeah.
I didn't say
Yeah, I called you
stupid.
No, you didn't say
I
stupid.
remember-
That
yeah,
was
I
me
remember
projecting
Brad.
on
Yeah.
myself.
Take the
Just-
lens
That's
cap off.
classic, Brad.
Yeah. No, just
Jared
he did not call me stupid, but just like it's one of those where his so much experience and expertise and everything on set and all problem solving, whether you've done it or not, you have also that brain pattern where you're like, oh yeah, this is an easy way, and you're like, oh yeah, tough.
It's always
Simple-
just. Go ahead, Brad.
Simplest solution is always the best. Sometimes you got to think about the end use versus what we're doing on set at the moment. But I can't remember what that was.
Yeah, I just remember being impressed and being like, oh yeah, like it made me think too. Like from then on out, I've always thought of it. Obviously, because I'm bringing it up where I'm like, okay,
As long as you were impressed, I'm happy.
yeah.
It's always just so much fun when you get like a good group of people together and it's a true collaboration. Like
Exactly.
it's truly just everybody building upon everybody's ideas and coming together, making it beautiful. There's no ego. I mean, TJ and I have talked about this so many times. Like it's just it's rare, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's awesome.
Well, the job titles are just kind of official titles at that point where everybody's like, wait, hold on, I can help with this. Like, I got an idea. Like it all kind of intermingles. That's the fun collaborative part that gets lost sometimes, but found again.
Yeah, I truly don't remember what roles I actually took on throughout the day because I feel like it was, just definitely wearing multiple hats.
And just it's problem solving, and we were all helping to make it go as smooth as we could in the limited time we had it, and we did it. At the end of the day, we had what we needed.
The
Yeah.
best 16-hour day I've ever had.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of kicking in and making it go, poor Sean was not even intended in being a part of this until I emailed him. I was like, hey man, can you take a look at this cut and give us some notes? And his notes were so good. I mean, Sean and I have worked together for
I
a
feel bad
long
because everyone's
time.
telling these great. I'm actually really enjoying listening to everybody, and then I'm like, I literally phoned in my contribution to this.
But it was
That's
super
a-
helpful.
Still
You know what I mean?
counts, Sean.
Like Sean and I have been collaborating together for well over a decade now. So it's you know, he's somebody whose opinion I trust deeply. And he's got such a great eye as an editor and as a director and as a creative in general that it felt like a good time to bring him in once everything was shot to get a second set of eyes that wasn't so close to this. And then, you know, once that was all done, 2 years later, coming back and helping us round out with some more notes for the final was super helpful. Sean, having been an outsider in this movie, but still contributing a really great creative eye. What were your thoughts on all this?
I mean, it was what I really liked about it is that I haven't gotten a chance too much to do creative consulting. I did some when I like maybe 10 years ago, and I really loved it because normally I'm directing and editing, and when that happens and I get to this stage in post where I'm ready to show someone something, I have no idea if it's good or if it's watchable or what needs to be corrected. I'm so numb to it. I had it recently with a project that I had shot with a buddy of mine that we took about a year to edit it, and by the time it was done, I mean, I really struggled with like, is take A better than take D? Is take, you know, and so it was actually refreshing to be able to see something. And also I've got like raging ADHD. So like it's easy for me to see something that I'm not involved with and immediately know like, oh, my brain will fill in the blanks of like, and it doesn't mean that these are like what you need to do. This is just my general reaction to it. And this is what my brain felt was missing or needed to be corrected. And I'm able to do that when I watch something that's in the stage that you've given me to, and then you're so easy to talk to that I can just be like, hey, here's my general reaction to it. Not saying that I'm right, but if I'm like, treat me like a focus group and here, and I'll just vomit notes all over it. But it's, for me, that's actually fun because I'm trying to, all I'm doing is just reacting. Whereas when I'm working on my own project, at that point, I'm just so numb to the project that I literally have no idea. And the smallest detail that's probably insignificant to the whole thing, I'm stressing over these little tiny details, just as much as the broader strokes of whatever I'm working on. So it's something that I really enjoy. I may actually enjoy it more than actual directing because I'm eager to like jump at the chance to help out, and I feel like I can really contribute, or at least I can offer what my genuine thought was. And I can't say that so much for actual directing, but it's the one thing, like if I'm not directing, I would love to just be doing consulting on things. And this was, but I gotta, and I know we haven't seen it yet, but just because I know I'll forget if I say it, but TJ, you are so funny in this. Like,
Thanks.
like I've known you for a long time, and I'm like, yeah, this is the guy that I hang out with. And so like it's kind of cool to see everyone just like your personality comes out in it, and it's really fun. And I know that wasn't the question, but I know if I don't mention it now, I will forget.
Thank you. No, that was super stressful. That was the most stressful part for me was because I haven't acted in a long time, and that was the one thing I was like, I don't think I have any actor friends that I'm gonna want to bug to come out and spend a full day on set with. I'm just gonna do this. It's our first one. You know, we'll bring in the real talent when, you know, we have something, you know, a bit more prepared.
So
that
you
we
were
can
your own
do.
understudy.
I was my own understudy. Yeah, like I was my last choice to do this part.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you write it with you in mind when you wrote all
I
of it?
did not. I did not. Actually, to be honest, I wrote it with Jake Bennett in mind. Is who I'd wanted to play this, but by the time we got in and like we landed from a drive from Ohio, and then like we landed like Friday, and then Saturday we went shopping for stuff, and then Sunday we shot the movie.
Oh yeah, it was fast.
We were in Pennsylvania. Sorry. Well, yeah, we've moved around a lot. But
I
that
forgot it was that close. I
It was a
remember.
normal trip. No, because we had moved in March of 2022, March or April, something like that. So, but we had gone out for your birthday, and then who knows? Who knows what we went out for?
not important. It was a long drive, and we just came back and shot a movie 48 hours later. So
When did we shoot it? Now I'm trying to remember. What?
End
what-
of August
End of August,
2022.
okay.
That's right.
Yeah,
What,
'cause
over
there was
2
a
years, yeah.
fun. Well, okay. Interestingly enough, I wanted to throw this out there. Myself, Sean, Glenn, TJ, and Garrett all work together at Geek and Sundry. If you're not familiar, it was a really big Twitch channel, a lot of tabletop content. And then we met Ben through Garrett, and we hired Ben for a couple of other projects throughout. So this was our first time working with Ben on set, which was fabulous. And of course, Jules has been in like a long time old friend.
And Brad
it was-
built every set that you saw during
and
your tenure at Geek and
yes.
Sundry.
Brad,
I was
Brad
gonna say
was at Geek and
we
Sundry
all
as
did
well.
Geek and
I know.
Sundry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was listen. I'm sorry.
He was getting to that.
I was getting there.
That's
Come
relaxed.
on. And so it was really great to bring like this group that had worked very well, who had worked really well together at Geek and Sundry, and then bring in a few new people. Like I said, having Ben on set was phenomenal. And then Jules, like this was one of our first forays into bringing him into our world, because you know it had been just like a friend, and TJ and Jules have made music together, literally and figuratively.
Beautiful
for
music.
years.
To the end of the world.
To the end of the world, man. Yeah.
Was there more to that?
There was
dude?
there was no point
Oh,
to
okay,
that. That
great.
was just my ramble.
So speaking
sorry.
of speaking
I'm sorry,
of Jules,
Brad. I meant to say your name.
speaking of Jules, Jules, I wanted to wait until I wanted to get through everyone else because I wanted to go through this piece by piece, and Garrett, we'll get back to you for the edit side of this, but Jules, you came in to help out with this because you're a busy guy. You got your normal job, then you've got a super great career as a music producer and a creator, and you're a dad and you're a husband, and you're a busy guy. I didn't want to bug you on this, so we originally had another friend from Pennsylvania, Justin, who was going to do the music, but he had to drop out, and you, thank God, were able to come fill in, and I'm so happy that you did, because I think what you brought to this was so absolutely special. And I really think like the music, like I always want the music of a movie to be a character of the movie. And I think what you brought to this, other than the sound design that you did, which elevated it up another 10 notches, the score for this is really outstanding. What was that like, man? Like, what was it, seeing the movie and having to come in and kind of swoop in to save my ass? What was it like creating the score for this?
Well, I mean, it's so interesting, right? Like, this is what I had wanted to do. I had taken years off high school or whatever, and went to college much later in my life, and moved to Los Angeles. Fame and fortune, find my way in the audio world. Like, I really wanted to do audio post. I moved in 2008, 2009. If you all remember, was a very, very hard time for a lot of us, right? So it didn't work out, and that just kind of stuck in the back of my brain, or, maybe the back pocket is a better way to put it, and I ended up doing a lot more producing and music, found a pretty good career DJing, and, I ended up at UCLA. And, so coming in at the end of this project was like, cause, TJ is always like, we got this, we got that, we're going on. And I'm like, I'm an audio producer, right? Like, but I don't want to, like push, you got your people, whatever, it's fine. But I really wanted to do this. Anyway, like, so it was great. So you send it over, and I started, actually you send it over, and then you're like, I'm going to be at your house. I was like, oh, what? And you're like, yeah, we're just going to rock this out together.
Yeah, it's like, let's just do it. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Like, let's go.
I was like, all right,
Like, this
man.
was Christmas morning, right?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Christmas
there might be some other people here. And I was like, are you sure, dude? Like you and I are brothers. Like, we're family, but like, creative, some like me, I hide in a hole and make music, right? Like, sometimes a little space is required, and you're like, that doesn't matter, we're doing this right now. And I'm like, all right, bro, let's go. And it ended up working out really, really well. And I like, and you all know, you're all professionals in this industry. Audio post and composing come last. So it's only natural that you know, you guys get to go have fun, do your things, and then call me in a couple of years when you're finally done messing around.
Couple of years.
I know we had a lot of like Glenn had sent over some really great inspirational tracks for us to pull from, and then just sitting there in the room with you, Jules, and watching you work. You fit into the collective that we have here because, like Denise was saying earlier, everyone's kind of on the same wavelength. We've all like Ben did the same thing. He just slotted in as like a perfect fit, but we've all worked together so much that there's this shorthand that we have between one another on a creative level. There's this level of trust where it's like there's very little, if ever, any doubt if someone has an idea or wants to kick something around. And, you know, you and I have been, similar to Sean, collaborators for probably close to a decade as well, if not more. And getting in the room with you for the first time to create something like this with you was a really special experience for me. Because one, getting to watch you do what you do and layer, like I don't know if anyone understands this, but like the sound effects that Jules designed in this on top of the music are layers on layers on layers. Like that door bang is like 5 or 6 or 7 different sounds combined into one and adjusted and modulated so it sounds just right. And like Jules taking all of the phone videos and all of the stuff that you see on the screen and making it sound like it's in the world as opposed to just in the front of the track, like everything else. It was a really interesting learning experience. And brother, I mean, I told you this before. I'm super grateful, and you're my go-to now. Like you're my first call moving forward because I think you knocked this out of the park really big. Especially, man, that last, like when things start getting spooky. Oh man, the like Jules, tell us real quick about like Pink Noise and the use of it, because that was my favorite thing. You were like, because I was like, I want to have like a big music chord and just hold it here, and you were like, give me 1 second.
Nah, bro.
And then like
Yeah,
that's what
no.
Jules would be like, hold on 1 second, and I would shut up, and then he'd tick 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 tick, and then boom, and then it would be this beautiful thing. Tell us about the Pink Noise you use.
Pink Noise, man. Everybody loves Pink Noise. Pink Noise is great. Pink Noise is basically all frequencies played at one time, and you use filters to shape like different parts of it to create tension and feeling and stuff like that. It is super excellent to like modulate it underneath like people like marching. Sounds really bassy and stuff, or in the horror genre to just like get that low rumble and just like get it right underneath things, man. Like, yeah, that like Pink Noise it will make you feel uncomfortable.
It works.
Yeah.
So to go back to Garrett real quick, because I want to get through kind of the process, and then I want to start getting some stories, because there are a few interesting things that happen on the set. Garrett, editing a short film at 3.5 minutes over 2 years. What was that like for you?
Well, it was
It's all about pacing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got. I did about a second every week, and what was funny, like, so we did the passes, and then the past few months is when we came back with the pickups, and then I met with Glenn, and I met with TJ and Glenn and Denise and everyone. And I will say there was one point when Glenn first met with me, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's get to editing. And I had watched it down before, and I'm like, okay, I guess we got a good amount of work to do. And he's watching it. He's like, this isn't the edit we've been watching for like the past month giving notes on. I'm like, oh, thank God. I was like, it isn't. I was like, and something fell off because it was like the 5.5 minute version from long ago. I was like, I thought I had so much work I had to do still. And I was going through all my different hard drives trying to find it. Finally found it. Got that project and was like, oh, like past Garrett did a lot of work here. Thank God. Like I thought I had like a whole short to re-edit in front of me. So I had totally forgotten where I was just because it had been so long. So
Well, because I think poor Garrett was like, so you guys have any notes for me? And we're like, yeah, totally. We're like moving again. So, we'll totally get back to you. And then he's like, every once in a while, he'd be like, so you guys got any notes for me?
yeah, so luckily Glenn was like, this isn't what we watched it on. I was like, okay, thank God. So once I found the right project with all the work that had already been done by past Garrett, it was great to get in and just do those fine tuning and tweaking. And then with notes from Sean and notes from all you guys. And then yeah, having that score put in too was a nice icing where it was just given back to me and I could see the complete picture, and score is so important. And so yeah, that took it from here to just even more so of just that sweetening where it was fun to see it all come together after our 2-year journey and gaps in my memory and stuff.
Never stopped. Got it done.
Yeah, exactly. Love it.
D, there was a lot of wacky stuff that happened on set. Why don't you take us through a bit of that?
Well, there's always a lot of running around, right? There's always like last minute shopping, trying to get stuff done. It must have been, maybe it was Friday. I can't remember if it was Friday or if it was the Saturday where we were doing like the last minute shopping. We went and we got you some makeup. I was subbing in as makeup artist. I am not a I don't wear makeup. You can tell I'm not I'm not great at it. Anyway, so there was a lot of
Costumes as
running
well.
around. Costumes, yes.
Yeah, don't forget that.
And then I had gone into storage. We had some stuff in storage because storage is my life. And I was moving a bunch of boxes around the day before. So when I woke up on Sunday and I was really, really, really sore, I was like, oh my gosh, I must have been like lifting too much by myself. And I didn't think anything of it. We all tested before we came in and everything was good. And we, because it's a studio, literally. It was what, like 300 square feet,
Yeah, if that.
We were all
tested
masking.
during.
And we all masked up and everything. And then
Apartment. We didn't build a studio.
No, it was
Yeah,
a studio
300 square foot
apartment.
studio apartment.
And then we got a little more comfortable, hey, is everybody okay? And maybe we went without masks. So it turns out that I had COVID and I had gotten it. We think on one of our shopping trips, I'm not going to call anybody out or anything, but we think we nailed down where I got it.
CVS.
From,
Totally
and
CVS.
and it was, terrifying the whole week, worrying that I had given everybody COVID. Thank God, thank Cthulhu, thank the elder gods. I only gave it to TJ. And
Lucky.
Yeah, the
I was
joys of
surprised we all
that
dodged it. That was the true horror after the.
Oh my
horror.
God,
Hey,
I was
we're
so
positive.
I
I'm like,
was-
oh no.
I was
This was
so
like still
devastated.
mid-COVID.
you were devastated. I was
yeah.
devastated. I was like, oh, great. I just gave everybody COVID.
Yeah, I dodged it. That would have been my second time, third time.
That was
Never
my
forget your second.
first time. 2.5 years I lasted. And then even more exciting, as they were working on the music and I was in Ohio, almost exactly on the 2-year anniversary, I got it again. I got it a few weeks ago. My sister gave it to me. Thanks, sis. Love you. Yeah, so it was like, what a great memory.
So in
remember-
2 years, you stay at home for the week.
I remember texting Ben and being like, "Hey man, I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't give you COVID. It's like our first time hanging out. I hope you didn't get COVID." I was so
He's never gonna work with us
fucking
again.
worried that like, oh my God, like we've never done this before. We did everything right and we still had a fucking COVID positive person on set.
Well, we learned we don't do the crew rap kiss at the end anymore.
Yeah,
We
the group
took all the
kiss.
fun out of it, Garrett.
I know. Well,
We need to go less 70s.
I mean, that's why we did it. We couldn't not. We tested.
Well, it wasn't even like BS test. This was like, I got certified as a COVID officer in the beginning of COVID just for the hell of it. Like, it was legit on set, normal testing
got
that
the
you would do
good
on
test.
any
Yeah,
show.
the good
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, those,
We
those
got the
tests were
good shit.
$75 a
We
piece.
just all skirted, and TJ got it the day after.
Yeah, they were $75 a piece. Those tests, like they were no joke.
Jesus.
Super high end, rapid tests, and yeah, I remember
They were
like
right.
Denise.
None of us had it. Just you
Yeah,
guys.
Denise came in the house and she was like, "Oh, unfucking believable." I was like, "What?" She's like, "I'm fucking positive for COVID," and I was like, "Fuck." So I grabbed the last test that we had and I tested, and this test takes 30 minutes to register a result. In 8 minutes, it came up positive. I'd never seen this test do this before. I was like, "Oh, I have COVID as fuck right now."
It's like glowing and shaking.
yeah, I was like, we gotta get this. I had to like,
Neon
I had to like
lights.
throw it
Yeah.
like a grenade over my head in the outside and it exploded into the night.
Was this the next day? Right.
This was like a couple days later.
Okay.
I think I had tested on Monday and TJ tested Tuesday.
Yeah.
We
Right?
started by 24 hours.
Yeah, easily 24
yeah, we
hours.
missed
Like
it,
it
yeah,
was
that-
it was it was a it was a near
It was
hit
hidden
for
right after
sure.
the pizza.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That was good.
I felt much worse for you all because
I know
was
because
like,
you're like, yeah.
I do feel like that is the biggest like that's the worst feeling in the world to have like do a successful shoot and then come away and be like, oh, we just made everybody sick. Like
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, like this.
yeah, I feel like casting or like as a crew, it's like I don't know. It's like I don't have the burden at least of like shouldering that. So I'm glad we all looked at.
It's really it's really been like as producers, that's been a really big thing. Like we did a shoot in Vegas, Glenn and Sean and I, and Denise. I just assume that you and I are always coupled. But yeah, we did this big stream in Vegas that was
I'm my
really
own woman.
stressful. We had a doctor on set administering.
It was a team.
Yeah, like there was
Oh, really?
an on-set
it was like
doctor.
out of ET.
Yeah, running
Like-
blood work on set to
Blood
make sure
work?
people didn't have COVID. Yeah, like
Whoa.
prick your finger and test the blood.
Wow.
Yeah,
because it
sit in
was
the
a- it
lobby
was a-
for an hour and
yeah,
wait.
it was
Those
crazy.
Botox touches too, just in
Oh yeah, Dr.
This
Dr.
was-
COVID, his name was. It was a weird coincidence that was his name,
Yeah.
Dr. COVID.
Wasn't this between like lockdowns at point?
Yeah,
this
this was just
01,
after we
Vegas
got the
had
21.
just
vaccination.
lifted the mask mandate.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
It was that was a rough one. I don't remember.
Good
Um,
thing
was
it's gone
coming.
forever now.
Yeah, we all
It's
survived.
never coming back.
We did
We're
it.
all
Yeah.
we're all
I didn't
back
get
to
it just a few
coughing.
weeks ago.
I didn't also just
I
have
know
it.
4 people with it now, right?
Yeah,
It's gone.
yeah, it's gone.
It is
COVID?
crazy that you're talking about how, like, I was thinking about that, TJ, about the. If you're just joining us, this is COVID chat on Twitch, but
Blood and COVID.
but you mentioned that we had all those doctors there, and now, like, I just go to the library and pick up 3 tests, like, all the time because they have them just in the lobby, just a stack of them
For
at any
free?
library. At
The
any library,
library?
yeah, at the library, you
Holy
can just
shit.
get them. They have all those orange ones that you used to be able to send out for.
Do
You
you
just-
have to have a library card for those?
Nope.
Or-
No.
'Cause listen,
Yeah,
dude,
you have
those
to- you have to
things-
check
those
them
things
out
are
and
like
bring 'em back.
$15 a pop. So
Yeah, no,
so
I didn't know.
I'm
So-
I think-
swimming.
aren't they
I'm
giving out-
swimming in COVID
Aren't they
tests.
sending free tests out at the end of the month too
At the
because
end of the
the
month,
numbers
yeah,
are so high
you can
again?
do them
Totally.
again. Yeah.
Oh, I just go to the library and cough into the books.
Yeah,
You're the worst.
Oh,
That's
you,
how I
you
get rid
open
of
the
it.
books and just poof, just
Yeah.
like,
Knowledge is
Yeah,
the
it
best
absorbs
medicine.
it like a
Don't do
sponge.
that.
like spores.
I ride the metro.
That's good to
and
know about
cough
the
in people's
library, though.
mouths.
Everyone at home, take note.
Yeah, they're really stocked
Um,
up too. I
you're
feel
in
like last time
California.
I went, it was
Yeah.
just like
And-
'Cause I
They
I
do-
paid money like a
way
chump.
too many.
It went to this point of we were getting free tests through MPI and health insurance and all this other stuff, and like I haven't bought a test in 4 years. So I've just bought some recently, and yeah, I'm gonna go to the library from now on.
Go to the library.
Yeah, read a
Okay, great
book.
tip.
No, don't read a book. You just get the COVID
The
test.
public library, people.
Only
It's
if
great.
LeVar Burton's there.
You get your
That's
COVID
fair.
and condoms from the library.
That's
Yep.
it. Butterfly in
And
the
you,
sky.
can, and you can check your email.
Yeah.
Condoms? What?
College used to have
And
condoms at
microfiche.
someplace. Maybe the library. I don't know.
Where'd
I
you
don't
go to
know.
college?
It's the
That's
student
weird.
Fuck
center.
you.
Porn college.
Sorry. I don't mean-
So Glenn, Garrett mentioned that we did some reshoots on this, and we waited 2 years to do. We kept saying we're gonna do them, we're gonna do them, we're gonna do them, and then we got back to LA, and Denise was like, "We're fucking doing the reshoots," and I was like, "Oh my god, the reshoots!" So Glenn came over the house, and Brad came up from downstairs, and we basically
We might be close neighbors.
yeah, we might live like
Brad
100
flew
feet
in.
from each other. Glenn, tell us about the reshoot day and what all we got away with, because like Garrett said, like I'd be hard pressed for people to spot the reshoots. So I'm curious to hear.
First of all, they're wildly different locations, and again, almost 2 years to the day apart. Whatever. Yeah, it's basically anytime you see a close up of anything, and I want to thank Sean. This was one of your notes, is that we needed more pickups, which is 100% true. I had planned them, but if anyone saw my shot list on the day of the actual shoot, it was far too long.
It was
Because
a lot.
it was a lot. Thanks, Brad.
Glenn
It
refused
was.
to
I
show me
didn't.
it.
I was dying.
I was like, Glenn, can I see your shot list? He's like, no, I don't.
It was a shot novella.
It was. It was double-sided. It was 18 pages.
Single spaced.
This was supposed to be a 30-minute short. We cut it down by 10.
What was your original? Just because I am curious, what was your original shot list? Like, do you remember
Like-
how many shots there were?
This was 2 years ago, Sean. No,
Go back to 2 years.
Glenn.
So 4,000.
I don't
shots.
remember.
Shot 1, cool movie.
Well, it's
Shot 2,
well,
great.
it's funny
I
because
honestly
can't,
don't remember.
No, and I hear you on that one because as we're watching this and I'm watching this short and talking, I'm trying to remember what my notes were, and I've been quiet this whole time about it, but I'm just like, I don't remember what I contributed to this. So
I
I
think
understand.
I knew, like, I had intentions on doing close-ups because it's a lot of phone things. But like we were running out of time, and I was like, well, in my mind, I was like, we could do these some other time, like close-ups, because I was like, it could be anyone's hand.
Because we
a
weren't
la
moving
Friday the 13th.
again.
Say that
Barry
again.
Knuckles.
I said because we weren't moving again.
Which means that they were.
I didn't know this.
You
Anyways,
should know.
I knew
by
we could
now.
fake them to an extent, but like I knew we had to get like proper medium and wide shots of TJ or whatever. So like pickups were something we would get later. So basically anytime you see a close up of a phone is something we shot 2 years later,
In a
25 miles apart in a completely
place.
different apartment.
With
Yeah.
not even the same, like, because some of the things existed at the other apartment and they don't exist here. Like they didn't belong to us. Like there was like a soap dispenser and things like that
Yeah.
in the bathroom.
In
That
super specific wallpaper.
Yes.
You guys killed
Oh,
it though. I
that-
remember getting the footage and I was like, this is great.
That worked.
Just out of
Yeah.
nowhere, you're like, here's footage. I was like, cool.
The best trick, I'll give it away. Like it's when he's in the kitchen eating the cereal and the phone is propped against the like palm tree-ish wallpaper. That wallpaper didn't exist in the place we were shooting in. So we propped it against or a little stacked away from their television and put up a screenshot of that wallpaper from our footage and then just shot it that way. We
The
basically
cheapest
did-
volume screen you can get in Burbank.
Exactly. We did the volume, except we didn't have to pay for the volume.
Movie magic.
It worked so good.
so amazing.
Yeah,
It's flawless, yeah.
It's pretty wild. Like we really lucked out that like the tile floor in the kitchen is kind of the same shade, and there's like the wood cabinets in the kitchen kind of resemble the wood of the ceiling. Like it really was. It was just one of those things that, like I'm not a confident person, so I don't think anything's gonna work ever. But when we watched those back, when Garrett put them in, I was like, I forgot that I forgot that they were reshoots, and I was like, holy shit, that I can't believe we pulled that off.
Yeah, it's seamless. And actually,
was-
TJ's all CG in the final shot.
Yeah, I wasn't there at
True.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
What was so
mocap.
fun?
Andy Serkis played him.
It's true.
What was so fun about the wallpaper thing was we were trying to do something else with the TV, and I think all three of us got the same idea. Like it all came to us at the same time. We were like, "Oh my gosh, we're put it on the TV!" And Glenn and Tita, yeah, we were all like, "Oh my god, yes!" It was funny.
Yeah,
I am
Glenn,
logging all this
Genius.
for continuity errors on IMDb. So,
on Letterboxd.
yeah.
Yeah, well, it was that was a really wild day because like Glenn had come to the table too, like because we knew we had to do the phone inserts, but Glenn came back and he was like, I think we're missing some stuff at the end that's gonna sell the kill. And like at the time Brad was downstairs living his life, and we were like, hey Brad, I think we're gonna do some gore stuff up here if you want. He's like, do. He was at the door in seconds, and he really
Someone
helped
say
us out
gore
with that.
I always knock with the Terminator knock.
Yeah, it's that's how I know it's Brad. But yeah, like all that stuff, like the stuff, all like the thing that I loved the most was the color transition, Glenn, that you wanted to do with the blood drops. I can't remember if we did that practically or if Garrett threw that light switch in post.
We did not. We shot it 2 ways because I didn't know how it would work in post.
We tried it practical, right?
We
yeah,
did.
but it was really dark, right? The
Yeah.
weren't popping through the red light.
Glad you remember. I already forgot, Glenn. I think we did put a color filter and crossed this off or something.
We
That's where your
did.
film school was coming in on that.
I won't give them credit. You couldn't do that on film, which is how I learned. No, we shot it both ways. We shot it under red light and we also shot it under white light. And I was like, I think Garrett can maybe color correct this into red.
Fix it in post.
Exactly. But yeah, like through the pickups, it really helped the ending because the way it was before the pickups, I don't think the ending worked as well. I think it would have been okay, but we needed more. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would say, yeah, that it worked.
Oh yeah, like it needed more space and breathing room and like something to linger on, which we didn't have. So thank God for the pickups.
And then we had this really great like because I love that last shot. Like I'm such a huge fan of that push in on the phone and Ben doing that great glitch work and Brad walking away all creepy and then like he's gone. The lights do. It just really.
Also, sorry, Garrett, on that rack focus. We did that a lot.
He's blocked it out.
Yeah. But to go back to Jules a bit, like that scene was cool in my mind, but once we start fading in from black and the music starts to hit, like I've had several people message me and be like, dude, that last song is a banger, man. Like, and that's how I felt too. Like we were originally going to do just a single credit card with everybody you see here and that's it. And that was going to be it. But Jules put something together that was so special that I was like, I want to do credits now. I want to hear more of this song. Cause I was at Jules' house, we were doing it. We got 3 to 5 seconds. I was very quick. And I was like, oh, but it's so cool. And you've made this cool thing. So we went back and Garrett, bless his heart, put our credits together for us and did a wonderful job with them. But yeah, Jules, that music at the end really makes that sing. And like, it was like Jules had the idea to add in the blood drops, which again, like Jules, like super collaborative effort. And like speaking of trust, cause he's just like, hey, just let me do this thing. And let me show you what I have in my head. That's like that. I mean, obviously that comes from your background in sound design and understanding, like, can you speak a little bit on like the importance of those little things and how much of an impact they can have, like those blood drops?
Well, we're very visual and audio people. I mean, visual and audio beings, right? Like everything that we see, a lot of what we see has a sound to it. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard or had the audio experiment where somebody pours cold water versus pouring hot water. Do yourself a favor sometime and like have somebody pour a cup of cold water and pour a cup of hot water, and believe it or not, you can tell the difference. Like we just process so much information. We have such these wonderful brains, right? And then visually is super, super important, but sometimes you forget that like the little things that happen in movies need sound, right? They'll feel flat without just like a little bit of audio, because like you just don't think about it, but that having both of those mediums come together really what will sell your shot.
Yeah, man, absolutely. You crushed it. It really elevated that whole thing. I want to ask real quick, because I want everybody to be here when we do the commentary run. There were a couple folks who were thinking they might have a hard out at 9. Is that still the case? Yes.
I'm
Okay.
variable. I don't think I'll be. I don't think I'll have to.
Okay. Well, it looks like we've got at least Jules, and I want him to be a part of this. So let's go ahead right now. What you're going to see, we're going to watch the movie. We're going to leave the mics on, and we're gonna do some running commentary. So, gang, if you see something you want to point it out, like a cool insert that we did later on, or there's a quick little anecdote that you have about a moment in the movie, please call it out. But yeah, for your viewing pleasure, here is the cast and crew commentary of Watch Till the End.
That's funny.
Yeah, so no, we should. Oh yeah, I don't know who's. Yeah, I guess you guys might be watching on a delay because you're not. The Twitch stream is delayed.
Like
but
kitty
I guess
cats.
commentary from the Twitch stream would be good.
I'm not a Twitch.
So this is my little brother here on the phone, Brandon. He was that video genuinely made me laugh. A lot of really
It was funny.
Yeah, a lot of really interesting shots. That Glenn, there it is. You just if you just caught it right there. There's the volume screen on the cell phone.
Yep.
Shout out Amy Vorpal who was in
Yes.
Garrett. Ben, did Ben work on that one as well?
He did all the openings for Corn Scream and stuff, but it was COVID heavy, so it was very limited.
Yeah. What was the name of that one, Garrett?
Night Visitor, maybe.
Have you tried
Also,
turning it
that
on
was
and off again?
not
It's the
on
it's the little
purpose, right?
circle
Her reaction to when you
No,
said
it
that. That was
initially.
totally accidental.
That
Whoa!
was Amy
Don't give
just
away the
smelling it.
magic. Of course it was. We timed that perfectly.
Well, we ended up timing it eventually, but I think the first one was like,
Ooh, potatoes.
the first one was a happy accident. We were like, oh, we got to keep that.
Yeah.
Fun fact:
potatoes
Denise
is
made
classic.
these potatoes, and they were actually delicious.
Nice.
It looked-
Fun fact,
They smelled good.
they
Shout
were.
out to Private Selection.
I
from
was going to
Ralph's.
say yes from Ralph's. It was a whole
Trash
little
on the
microwave thing
No,
from
but
Ralph's.
something
Thanks, guys.
original.
it smelled delicious too. Yeah, they won't share any, but it smelled.
It's
And
true.
then you just
They
threw
were
them
props,
away.
Garrett.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
here we are.
He
This
looked
is-
at me in the eyes and put in the trash.
This is that moment where we get to see Brad for the first time as Reaper, and we start to hear that pink noise and that like high pitched tinnitus noise.
Interesting. Interesting story. That one in the Playhouse. That white screen was not intentional. That was totally something that happened on the day, and we were like, "Holy shit, that's perfect. We're using it." That's in the movie.
Ooh, I
What do
was
you mean?
curious. 'cause
We
it
did
is
that
perfect.
perfectly.
This is one of my
Yeah.
favorite shots. The push into the door is such a beautiful shot, Glenn.
Yeah, with that red leaking
Garrett.
through is fun.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I remember the
Yeah,
red
those
light
lights
too
worked out
was,
well.
was the red light
They
too was
did.
really interesting. Like
And the
I think we
reverse
had them all on red, and we all kind of looked at each other and were like, "Oh, I think I kind of like that." But again, that's the kind of stuff that happens when you have restraints. You make up stuff on the day because you have to. It makes it more interesting.
Also, the sound of the crickets were real and live.
Yes,
I
they
love
were.
them. Mainly because I love Neon
Crickets?
Genesis Evangelion, but whatever.
You grew up in the Midwest. You like crickets at the game.
Also that.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's that fucking banger of a track, House of Jewels, House of Angela.
Legit. Put that on fucking vinyl and I will buy it.
Yeah.
That looks so good. That looks so good on the phone.
We spent so much time making these credits. We're really trying to find the perfect thing, and then Garrett's like, "Oh yeah, I just have this thing that's in the software that does it." And we're like, "Oh, sick."
And you made the title on your phone too. With the cool piece of stuff.
Yeah, that whole thing, that whole title was made with a mix of not Envato, Enlight or Photo Leap, I think it's called now, and Wurble made all
Oh, yeah,
that,
Wurble.
made all that stuff. Or Wurble.
Thankfully, they let you stack the filters.
Yeah, which worked out really well. Like, but that was the thing. Like, we were making stuff up on the fly. But we now that people have to go, I want to do something real quick. So who has to leave at 9 and who can stay?
It's 9:01.
Daddy has to leave.
Okay, Daddy J
Oh.
has to leave. So Jules, before you leave us,
Jules, don't call yourself that, please.
please tell
Got the
everybody
voice
at
for it.
home.
Why? That's what we all call him anyway.
Yeah, Big Daddy J. Tell everybody at
yeah.
home where they can find you on the internet, how they can support you in your art.
Gee. I make music under the moniker Ninjula. You can find me on most of the music platforms. I'm on Spotify. I'm on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. So if that's most of them, that's where you can find me. Listen, like, share, if or don't. I'd make stuff because I love making music, man. And I'm just super proud of this, and I'm proud to be able to work with you guys. So thank you very much. And
Thank you.
Great
Thank you.
job,
Yeah,
Jordan.
thank you, Jules. Thanks for being here, man. Have a great night. Love to the fam, and we'll see you next time. I have no idea what's going to happen when Jules drops off the call and how it's going to impact the shape of things. Okay, it didn't. It didn't. Great. But yeah, big shout out to Jules and Ninja. If you do hit up that Spotify, check out the song "The Hardest Show on Earth." You might recognize someone's voice in the opening of that. I'm not going to say who.
Denise's.
That's right.
Denise
Oh my
is
God,
pointing
there's
at you, TJ.
there's a-
Is it
there's a
you,
hand in the
DJ, is it you?
It's me.
Are you the voice?
I'm the voice. It's me. This
Love
is
that.
the
Love the
voice.
title of that song too.
Yeah, it's really, that was a fun one. But yeah, Jules and I have been working together for a long time now, doing writing stuff and music stuff. So I love the guy and super happy he got to play with us here.
I've
so
got a
that
lot of
was
potato questions.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean. But please, with the potato questions. Yeah.
I was hoping you weren't going to follow up on that.
You can't throw that out for me and not follow up.
No.
Witty?
Yeah, you in the front, Sean. Potato question.
They were from Ralph's or Kroger. Like if you
Ralph.
it's the same thing.
Yeah. Speaking of Ben, one thing he did outside of the movie was he helped finish up our Channel 29 little intro there, our little bug. Helped bring that to a close. So thank you, Ben, for that, because I'm gonna use that shit forever.
Great.
But yeah, most of that was cut together on my phone as well, because I don't know how to use the computer yet. So that was a lot of fun. But so Brad, you got to kill me. I'd like to know more about what it was like to murder your friend. No, that whole sequence where
We've talked about this for years.
yeah, where Brad swings the scythe, like Reaper swings the scythe into Joe's gut and he dies.
Which part?
Yeah, right. So first off, the sound I made on the dad, a mouthful of blood. So the sound I made, I wasn't very happy with, and we were at Jules's doing ADR, like we did a bunch of ADR for Dee's stuff, for her phone videos, and I was like, oh, just throw a mic on me. I'm gonna ADR the death noises. I was super happy with those, but the actual like, Brad, tell us a bit, and Glenn, if you want to jump in here from a director standpoint of what it was like, because we did a lot of rehearsal, a lot of like making sure I was safe. But there is
the close-ups.
Yeah, and the close-ups. Yeah, tell us about
Oh,
what the how we got the actual stab wound.
Well,
I will jump in. Your initial gurgled death sound, I actually liked.
I did too.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Oh, well, some of it's still in
blood
there. I
tastes
think we
like
used some of
shit.
it, but layers on layers.
Of course. Sorry. Go ahead, Brad.
No, the fake blood tastes like shit. It's hard to even like hold a straight face when you got a mouthful of that crap.
You want that
And
real blood taste.
Well, yeah, it's warmer and saltier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh
A little
my.
metallic. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's the iron. When we picked up the close up, like that was a lot of safety concern on that because we don't have retractable Sykes. I think like I could spill the whole beans on it. Like
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This is what this
Like-
is about. It's
like,
letting people
no,
know how we did
He's
it.
clearly alive. We didn't murder him.
Yeah,
Clearly.
or I'm a ghost.
Yet.
But I mean, thank goodness for pillows and fake. I mean, we basically just stabbed a pillow, but we had him staged off to the side. There was no physical way we were hitting each other.
We
I
safetied
mean,
it too. There was metal between.
There was he had a metal
Yes, it
plate
was a
with
cookie sheet.
leather and yeah, that metal plate.
Very large cookie sheet.
But it worked out well. Me and TJ had always talked, like, honestly, since we met, about you always wanted to die on camera. Was this the first time?
Yeah, this was a huge bucket list item for me. I always want, ever since I was ever since I started watching horror movies in like the 3rd grade or something, I've always wanted to die on camera. It's like, it was a huge bucket list thing to check off for me. So thanks, Brad. I'm glad it was you. I'm glad it could be you, Brad.
Hey, if anybody's gonna stab somebody, it should be friends, right? Like, I remember that setup. Once we got the angle right, it was just more of like dealing with the pillow, which we put a blood bladder in, but the fiber fill, which is always the hard part of dealing with like cheap ass effects, in the terms of like how is this going to affect the pullout? And like the fiberfill pulls out with it, but it looks like meat. The cotton lining of the pillow looked like skin. Like it just kind of happy art department magic worked. And when we watched playback, I remember Glenn's like, "All right, here you go," and it looked better than we could have like built a fake skin for. Like it just kind of
It's
worked.
true.
Like it
Shout out to Walmart's European sham pillow.
Wayfair for the win.
I'm also going to
Uh,
shout out the red lighting.
That helped a lot. Yeah, like those little LEDs are magic.
They were.
Yeah,
I-
now,
I've
now
used
that
them
we've
a
done
lot
this,
since then,
Glenn's
but,
Glenn's
like,
got him in his background right now.
What do you mean?
oh, Glenn, look out!
That's his aura.
Brad's behind you.
Please.
Yeah, well, now that we've got that out, keep an
It's
eye out for
way
the
too long of a
socials.
drive for me, Glenn. Come on.
We're going to we'll be dropping a ton
Oh my God,
more
could you-
of the
sorry.
behind the scenes pictures and stuff, so you can see what all that looked like
Yeah.
up close and
But-
personal. Go ahead, Sean.
Nothing. It was stupid.
It was a joke. It was probably a good joke.
It's not appropriate.
Well, speaking of jokes, though, I do have a question for Sean, real quickly, if I may.
Yeah, absolutely. You're looking at the wall though on the camera.
So, Sean.
You look towards the wall, and then you'll look at me. There it is.
Okay.
And I look this
Um,
way.
All
And there
right.
you are.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Denise?
So, Sean.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
So Sean's multi-talented. You know, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass right now. Multi-talented, but
What do you need?
you do you do a lot of comedy, right? That's
Yes, that's
where
that's
your
my
heart
jam.
lies, right?
Correct.
Now this was a horror piece. So can you just talk a little bit about how somebody who, you know, prefers a certain genre can come in and talk about like the nuances of what may or may not be missing, or what you personally feel from a genre that maybe you're not as into?
Well, and Sean
Yeah,
also,
well-
just to note, that Sean does have horror experience as a director.
He
as
does
well.
have horror experience, I know, but like he
I didn't
his
have
heart
any
is in
horror
comedy.
notes though, because I mean I do know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think most of my notes were about like seeing what was on the Instagram, because you guys got the horror stuff covered. There was nothing, that I could bring. I would be coming to you guys for advice on that. But yeah, I think a lot of it was just the opportunity to highlight anything. And it may just been coincidental, but like I feel like a lot of my notes, and once again it was 2 years ago, so I might be foggy on it, but I believe it was a lot of the Instagram shots and a lot of highlighting like what you were watching, but like actually putting like, adding more context to what you were seeing. And then with that is like stuff that's, making TJ laugh or distracting him. But basically just something representing, that doom scroll culture, of you're oblivious to it. But I do feel like, well, once again, they're both like niche, like, and I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for comedy in horror, so it's not out of place. You can't really say that so much for like dramas or other genres, but there's always like, that's why a lot of my favorite horror movies are like usually a comedy horror hybrid, like your Evil Deads and your Shaun of the Dead, and a third title with dead in the title, but like
Dead and Breakfast.
yeah, dead and thank you. But yeah, like I always found, for me, like those were always my favorite. Like anything, like I was a big fan of like a lot of Bruce Campbell stuff. I don't watch a lot of like straightforward horror. It's always like Tucker and Dale, like
That's a
stuff
good one.
like that, and I think there's a lot of really great synergy between the two genres. So I'm glad that when I watched it, I was able to pinpoint like my notes like more on like and I also think I'm just like, that's what I would have like wanted to see more of, just because I'm also a big, like, in addition to doing comedy, I love variety. So just as many angles as you can hit something with, I'm always a big
Yeah.
fan of that as well. And I think that's why I'm always into like hybrid entertainment.
So you like almost immediately answered my question, and this is a good thing to note for anybody who might want to do this in the future. You came from just a general storytelling lens, and I think that's really interesting to note, that you don't have to be a fan of, or have worked in a particular genre. If you're a good storyteller, which Sean is, you come in from just a storytelling frame and you're able to provide this kind of consultation that elevates it.
Yeah,
No,
and
it
I
was-
think
it was
too, like
just-
as an
yeah.
editor as well, like Sean and Garrett both being editor directors, it's always nice to have someone like that on your set because they're seeing into the future as they're directing. They know what they need to make the movie. It's a godsend when you can get it.
The bird has a question.
Who has a question?
I said the bird because he was cooing.
Oh, Moira's got a question. Moira wants to know.
Hi, Moira.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess we're approaching the end here. We don't want to linger on too long. But before I go, I want to give everybody the chance to, if there's anything else anyone wants to talk about, any other story you want to tell, any anecdote that I might not have thought of, any behind the scenes thing that you did that you're proud of or that you want to highlight, I'm going to give every kind of a lightning round chance to do that right now. And if everyone stays quiet, I'll fucking wrap the show out, I guess.
I love the IT crowd joke. It's still one of my favorites because I will say that to anyone that ever asks me what's going on with their tech because I know shit about tech.
It's not really a joke. It works more often
It
than not.
does.
This computer tonight died 45 minutes before this stream happened.
Oh
And
no.
the only thing that fixed it was unplugging everything from the computer, all the USB ports, and then for some reason it powered back on. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Have you tried a baseball bat?
I
My
was
brother
close.
is a literal IT professional. He can't watch the IT crowd because they make that joke, I believe, because he
It
said
actually
it so many
works.
times and it works. He's like, I can't watch this. It's
Oh no.
It's too
It's
close to
accurate.
home.
I just also want to say how fun it was making something with you guys outside of the world that we all met in. Everybody, except for Ben, we met on this one, but everyone else on the screen, we all met in the same world. It's fun to do something outside of that.
I think it's a good reminder. Like, grab some people and you can make stuff. Like,
Yeah. It was a longer
fun,
drive
like-
than the last time.
yeah, yeah. But you have a day even, just do it, get it out, and like, obviously there's a lot of pieces. It's a collaborative thing, but sometimes I know I'll get in my head and be like, oh, I want to make something, never do it, but like, just do it,
Yeah.
get it out,
100%.
keep getting better, and if you have ideas in there, yeah, it's just gonna,
Yep.
it's just fun, even no matter what. At least
No, it was a great time.
I'm really proud that my viral load was so low that I didn't get anybody else sick except for TJ.
And I got
Me
very
too,
sick.
but he was unavoidable. It was going to happen.
I mean, just
Yeah.
let us know when you have COVID again. We'll make another one.
No.
I mean, she should be
Listen, I
clear
just-
for another 2-3 months.
Yeah, I just got it. I'd rather not wait that long. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, your immunities are up now, so go nuts.
She's got immunities.
Now's the time to film.
We should try to get one more in before we go in the week and a half we have left with all the packing we have to do.
What, one more COVID?
Yeah, one more. We'll sneak one more code in.
That'll make a great drive.
Yeah.
You know, you've
Um,
got
Is there
traveling
anything
ahead
with
of
you
you.
guys that you would say,
Hey, Kitty.
Kitty!
or more, that was most difficult, or something you took away from this that you'll be applying to future productions, or
Yeah, I mean, I know for me the biggest thing about this was one of my biggest crutches because I moved out here when I was 18 years old in the year 2000, and I moved out here to do this, and this was the first time that I ever wrote something and put it on camera after 22 years and to get that done. And the reason for that was because I had this constant need for what I was creating to be perfect. And that right there was the biggest lesson I took from this, was that first off, nothing's ever going to be perfect. There's a fucking Starbucks cup and a Game of Thrones shot. All right. So it doesn't matter if you've got $1 billion to make your movie or $5, not billion. Your mistakes are going to happen, and it's not going to be exactly what you want. But if you get good people together and you put your heart on the screen and you trust the team that you've built, you can sometimes create something better than you ever thought possible. And I'm so proud of this movie and what it became. I would have been proud of it if we had released it 2 weeks after we shot it, but we took the time to make it what it is now. And I think like it doesn't have to be perfect, but take the time. You don't need the best gear. You don't need all the super high tech stuff. You don't have to spend $1 billion. Get some friends that you care about who are creative and who want to do this thing, and make a movie with them. Shoot it on your phone if you have to. You know what I mean? And support the other people in the room. Ben, I need to get you a camera package before we leave. So let me know when to give you that. But that's the kind of thing, you know, create an environment where you can have a co-op where you can skill trade and you can time trade. And you know, my biggest hope, unfortunately leaving for Ohio in a couple weeks, is that I get to come back here someday soon, and help every single one of the people on this stream with a passion project that they have that might not have any money, or at least at the very least help them from afar as best I can, as from a producerial aspect, because that really the effort that everyone on this call put in is what made this movie great and made it what it is, and I'm forever going to be grateful for that.
Yeah.
Took my answer.
The right people make the whole environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like an easy shoot can be hard with the wrong people. A hard shoot can be easy with the right people. Like,
It's a situation. Oh, sorry, Brad. Go ahead.
I
I was going to say it's just a situation where you don't have to do this. You get to do this.
that and it sparks that like stoke. I mean, it depends on the people watching, but we've all been doing this for a while, and sometimes it kind of sucks the life out of why you want to do it. Things like this revamp it. You just get to play again, and that's what makes it worth doing.
Remind you, like, oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
a reason I love this, and
Yeah, we got into this for a reason.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It
like,
can be easy to get jaded and tired and worn down, but
yeah,
finding people you work with well, and yeah, a great crew is everything, and then just doing it. Yeah, and so this was so much fun to do, and I'm glad
it was good to see everybody again too. I mean, I hadn't seen Sean or you, Garrett, or in a while.
yeah.
Me,
That's a good
Glenn,
excuse to,
and
like, let's
Denise
all do-
hang out
yeah.
a lot, but like, and meeting Ben was great.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure we'll all do things again. Like, it just, you kind of get the same people in the same room, and you're like, this is fun again. I like this.
Yeah, Sean uses this term "film family" all the time, and it's something that I've adopted myself, because it really is like these are the people, you know, Jules included, and there's a couple other folks like Angie, Brad, and you know, that you know, if I got $1 billion tomorrow to go build a studio, I wouldn't do it in LA, but I would hire everyone on
Why?
this. I would hire everybody on this call.
We're all gonna leave.
Yeah, to come and be a part of that studio, because these are the people I trust and these are the people that I love working with, and if I could do that every day for the rest of my life, I would die a happy man.
Glenn,
Same.
do you have anything
Glenn,
to
yeah, anything
say?
you'd like to say?
Ooh, spotlight.
Like and
that?
subscribe.
Smash that one.
I
Smash
think
that
that,
one.
yeah, I think the
Smash
kids
that-
say
yeah, smash
smash. Yeah.
Hit that bell. No, I don't have
Yeah.
anything. Watch it again.
Subscribe,
Bill.
comment, follow, like, subscribe.
That's right. You can
comment.
watch it
Yes.
again by heading on over to youtube.com/@wearechannel29 and find Watch Till the End. You'll be able to see it there again and again and again and again. And also bloodandpopcorn.com. You better click over there, and that's going to be up there soon as well. That'll link to that YouTube. What's that, D?
I have thoughts.
Denise has thoughts.
Ooh.
So I wanted to sort of reiterate this whole wanting things to be perfect. There, especially if you've been in this industry for as long as some of us have, there is this, you work on things and there is this expectation, okay, it's got to be XYZ, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. And that kept us from doing stuff for a really long time for ourselves, because we were like, well, we don't have enough money to do this. We don't have enough money to do that. And that sort of put us in a box of our own making. But just do it. Like, I can't recommend it enough. Just do it, do something. And you learn every time you do something, even if you've been doing it for as long as we've been doing it. The moment you think you have stopped learning is probably the moment you should see yourself out the door, because you will never learn everything. the best people understand that every situation is a new opportunity to learn. This last one, we were like, oh, we'll take care of the videos later. But if we had done it ahead of time, we wouldn't have had some of the issues we had where we had to like blur a lot of stuff out because it either interfered with the story or it took you out of the story, or we didn't have, the rights to use certain things, or, one of my videos, we used one of my videos that had like a Katy Perry song in it, and you can't have Katy Perry's name at the bottom of the thing. So it's just, make sure that you're setting yourself up, make sure that you're learning and that you're like taking these learnings with you in the future. And I can't say it enough. Like, thank you to each and every one of you for being there for us. And like TJ said, we want to pay the favor back by helping you in whatever way we can. Like, I mean, Ben, it was so great to work with you on set. I mean, Garrett, Brad, Glenn, it's always fabulous to be with y'all. And I look forward to the next time that we're able to do this again.
too.
Sean, you're pretty cool. I love you.
I'll take that.
But I mean, it's
Not
no.
bad,
I
Sean.
mean, please. If Sean would let me, I would bring him with me everywhere. But Sean won't let me.
I'll go. Sure.
That's
But,
what that's what duct tape and ratchet straps are for.
We do have a spare room. The place in Ohio is 10 times the size of this one, so we got that spare room, Sean. You let me know when you want it.
I don't know about 10 times.
Okay. Yeah.
But just, I mean, it's a
That's
beautiful
Set up
thing
a
definitely-
bunch of
that's def-
mirrors, and it'll be
that's-
10 times.
to have fun with your friends.
Oh, I would
Like,
hate that.
It's so it's fantastic, and I love you all, and thank you.
Yeah, there's a
Great.
great quote
Likewise.
from Andy Warhol, and it says, "Don't think about making art, just get it done. Let everyone else decide if it's good or bad, whether they love it or hate it. While they are deciding, make even more art."
Yeah,
And I take that to heart.
it's all subjective.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Just do it.
Yeah, Nike it up. Well, we're gonna get sued for that now. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. If no, does anyone else have anything to add before we go around the room and tell everybody where we can find you and where we can support you?
No.
Going once, going twice. Sold. Okay, starting with Denise. Denise, tell the folks at home. Actually, I'm going to start with everyone else, and we'll wrap it up with me. You and Glenn is okay. Glenn froze there for a second. He closed his eyes like this. Brad, tell the folks at home where I know you're not big on the socials, but like where we might be able to find some of your work or support you.
Oh, that's a hard question. I tried to prep for this. I am not on social media. I have a Facebook, but it's basically for private friends and contacts.
So do not look for Brad.
This is admirable. This
You
is an
will not
admirable
find him.
answer.
You can look for me in the credits of some big shit coming up.
Ooh.
Love that.
Okay, what about you, Garrett?
Oh yeah, I'm terrible at socials, but we have me and Ben have Paranoid LA, which is sort of the brand which we do stuff under. So we have our website, which is paranoid.la, which you can see some stuff on. YouTube is Paranoid LA, or youtube.com/it. Same on Instagram. Maybe a dot in there. Ben can clarify if I'm misremembering. And yeah, we got horror movies on there. And next month, the yoga horror and thriller sci-fi.
Wait, I hear yoga
horror. No, horror.
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 Yeah, two
yes.
R's, an O, and an R.
Horror.
Yoga hosiers?
Yeah.
Is there a W
One
in
will be
there?
on Paranoid and one will be on, I think, Good Time Society. So keep an eye out for that.
Ooh.
That's yeah. And yeah, I'm terrible at this.
Ben, do you want to pick up the slack from Garrett's masterful execution
Yeah,
of a
rating
promo?
endorsement of horror.
Let's bring it all together.
It was a
Um,
horror show.
Yeah, let's change the word. I can't find-
What have we got going on? So Garrett is correct. We have two Instagram accounts. The first is paranoid.la. Our website is also www.paranoid.la. And then you can follow our short that we released last year on Instagram at homecoming.short. And then that should preview pretty soon on the Good Times Society YouTube channel. And I believe their YouTube page is going to be youtube.com and then add Good Times.
I
Is
think
that
just
how
slash
YouTube
good
works?
tunes. Good Time Society.
Yeah, Good Time
If you
Society.
Google YouTube, Good Time Society, it should be there.
It should come up. So we'll premiere there. It's done with its festival run. We're pretty proud of it. And yeah, working on some stuff right now where we're I think in the like groaning the groaning pains part of the process where we're like, is this going to get off the ground? What do we need to do for this? So, but you can follow all of our social accounts and figure out what we're working on from there. So
Once we updated it, then like
yeah, exactly.
It's a job, man. It's a real job. Mr.
Yeah.
Becker,
God.
tell the folks at home where we can find you out and about in the world.
Wait, who's going?
You, Sean.
Oh,
You're
shit.
going. It's your turn.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear the first word. And I was like, I mean, it's 1 out of 2 chance, I think, at this point that it was me.
probably
So
Glenn.
I lost that dice roll. Yeah, you can find me on my socials, Yoga Whore, just across all platforms. Not horror.
Yeah.
No, but I'm actually
Yeah,
Sean Never Sean. I'll drop that in the chat right now. I'm that on everything. I'm mostly on Instagram, but a lot. If you want to support me, probably Twitch is the best thing. That's where I'm the most active. I do a lot of work with Jeff Lewis on his Twitch channel as well, which is Jeffy Lou. I'm just quickly putting my thing down. And then yeah, the only thing I got going on right now is Jeff and I, we did a pilot about a year ago that we're finally like putting out, and it just screened at the LA Comedy Film Festival last weekend. And we just found out that it got into the Los Angeles Comedy Film
Nice.
Festival, which is
Yeah.
different than the LA Comedy Film Festival. So it got into the LA Comedy Festival, Los Angeles Film Festival, Portland Film Festival, and then we just found out today, I think, Austin Film Festival.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So we'll
Yeah.
be at the LA
Congrats.
screenings for that. So socials, you can check it out. And I'll try to I was horrible posting info the last time, so I'll try to be better. But if anyone's in Austin or Portland, please go and let us know how it went, because we won't be at those.
Yeah, share when it's playing again, and secretly give me a watch link, please.
Yeah, I think the Los Angeles Film Festival, I think it's October. It's mid-October. I'll get the exact date.
Nice. Okay.
Wait, that's a Los Angeles Comedy Film Festival or a Los
That-
Angeles Film Festival?
The Los Angeles
Comedy.
Comedy Film Festival.
Okay.
And
Not
then
to
it
be
played at the
confused.
LA Comedy Film Festival.
Oh, this
This
is the
isn't-
comedy
Yeah,
district in Los Angeles.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not
And
confusing
eventually
at
it's going to
all.
be at
No,
the,
it's
the
funny
Comedy
because
LA Film
when
Festival.
when we got the notification, I was like, we already got into this.
A lot of people are showing up to different ones.
Yeah, not to be confused with the SoCal Comedy Film Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of Los Angeles.
Of Los,
Los
Angeles.
Angeles.
It's
Yeah.
a dot LA.
And then there's the Louisiana Film Festival, which is also the LA Comedy Film
Yeah.
Festival.
Yeah, it gets
Okay.
very
It's
Los,
nuts.
Los Angeles County.
Yeah. Glenn, with that segue, go ahead and tell the folks at home where they can find you on the internet.
At the Odd Movie Master, where you can see me not post for like a year. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I
That's
guess I
solid.
should do that again. It is
Uh,
becoming Halloween. I will post more things.
Yeah,
It's
we got, you
usually-
know, Blood and Popcorn spinning back up.
Yeah. That's about it.
Denise.
Hello. Samesies. So like I am the Demogorgon. Like it's Demogorgon, but with 2 E's because my nickname's D. So I'm the Demogorgon on some places. And then some places I'm Denise Pantoja or Denise_Pantoja on Instagram, because we apparently tagged the wrong lady who never is on Instagram. But I also wasn't on Instagram for a really long time either. Terrible at self-promotion, trying to get better. You can also find some of my work at our Blood and Popcorn website. I've done some blogs. And then TJ had to show me up by doing a really good commentary on the state of horror and horror, not horror.
That was
Horror.
good. It
Yeah.
was good.
It was really good. And I don't know, just, here. And I don't know where I'll pop up next. Just, keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, Denise crushes the synergy amongst socials game with 15 different tags.
Listen, I'm trying,
It's like
okay?
whack-a-mole. It keeps you
I
guessing.
was like
Yeah.
mid branding change, and then I don't know.
I still have a MySpace.
How?
That's coming back. That's coming back.
I
Oh,
don't know.
man.
I
Hold
never
on to that.
deleted it. I think
Yeah, MySpace for life, my top 8. Yeah, and I'm TJ Rotel, and you can find me at Geeky Tej wherever popular internets are sold. But to be completely honest, I'm thinking about retiring that and just going back to TJ Rotel. So
Oh, you're making fun of me.
take a look at
Rebrand.
that's it. It's time to rebrand. I'm 42 years old now. It's time to rebrand and get more serious.
Oh,
But
we're
I
old,
yeah,
aren't we?
we're old people. But yeah, that's where you can find me, and I'm also here on Channel 29. This is where I live. These are the shows we got out right now. Ignore the days and the times because all that shit's changing. But we'll be a little bonus round, a little Blood and Popcorn arcade, and now returned as of Thursday night. We'll be doing the Lost Boys on Blood and Popcorn this week, which we're very excited about finally getting to. It'll be episode 40 of Blood and Popcorn.
Nice.
So very excited for that. Thank you very much. But guys, this was super fun. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your help making this movie. It would not have been done without every single one of your efforts. So thank you so much for being a part of this. And thanks for everybody at home who supports us and supports the channel and has done so for these many years when we're on and off again. Because we'll be off again soon for at least a couple of weeks while we rebuild life in the Ohios.
Are we going to be off, or are we going to be?
I think there's a road trip stream.
Yeah, there's
Streaming
we're
from
probably going to
home.
stream
Yeah,
the road
that'd be a
trip
good
quite a
idea.
bit. But I don't want to promise anything now because we've done this drive a lot. So we'll see.
And it's time for people
So
to
yeah, I was
see
about
it.
to say, show off your knowledge.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of this.
Do you want me to follow you out with the mask on? I'll drive behind you and just
Yeah,
scare
yes,
you.
yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah, just chase us
Sit in
down
the
the
lane
street.
next to him. Just
Yeah,
Just
and then,
scare
and
you
then
at the P stops, and you
Ooh.
know.
switch your headlights out to red bulbs.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
It's a
on the
whole
road.
it's a
I
whole
can
road.
do
It's a
that.
whole
It's
it's
a
a whole
whole
road
choice.
show.
Joyride 3.
That's right. But yeah, so that's it, everybody. That's Blood and Popcorn Behind the Screams for Watch Till the End. Thank you for watching. Thanks again to the cast and crew for showing up tonight and for showing up for the last 2 years to make this movie happen. We love you all at home. We love you here on the call, and we'll see you tomorrow night for what'll probably be Blood and Popcorn Arcade. Because we'll skip bonus round this week and do a little more horror stuff to keep rocking the chain for Watch Till the End. But we'll play
Halloween's
us out
coming
with
up, man.
yeah, it's
What
coming
are you
up
guys,
Halloween.
What are you guys playing?
I don't know yet, but probably the Quarry. We've been doing that a bunch. Denise.
Oh yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
heard fun.
Yeah, we'll see what time that goes up. Everything's up in the air right now with the move. So just keep an eye on the socials if you wanna watch us play horror games tomorrow night. Denise and I and yell and scream. But yeah, we'll play the movie one more time as we go. But until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep the scream alive. Good night, everyone.